Hey, what's going on? World Wealth and Wisdom family. With Mr. J. Howard. Hey, look, so I'm taking part in some of this vehicle YouTubing, and today I wanted to talk about why reassurance and appreciation being shown in a relationship is important. And I know this is a little bit different from things that I normally talk about, but I felt like, just based on some things I've had in my experience, and if you follow me, or if you've been following me long enough, you know that I'm working on a book titled Flowers Aren't Only for Girls. And essentially the book is about, bringing in the dynamics behind how men are now changing how we do show love and care and support for our women and support our families. And we are no longer adapting to this theology that love, care, nurturing just comes from the woman. All right. In this type of relationship, and I don't knock any other relationship, that's just the dynamics of what I wrote the book about, and that's about it. So it has nothing to do with me, preferring this relationship over the other or whatever. My preferences are not what the book is about. All right. So anyway, one thing that I've been learning as I've been studying and working on, myself, my own personal relationship, and of course working on this book that I keep delaying because I really want it to be good, right? I want it to be worth it, and I want it to be for people who like myself, right? I got a divorce recently, or maybe not recently now, it's been over a year, or close to it. But some tools and resources that I couldn't find when I needed it, right? And not to say that if I had the tools and resources that my decision would have been different, but especially as someone who I got married very young, I think that having tools and resources would have helped me with my decision making. If not anything, it would have helped me with the overall process, some understanding, some comfort. So anyway, I know that appreciation, reassurance, different things like that were some things that, I could have done better on. And then entering the dating pool and seeing that from another point of view, as people try to introduce appreciation for me or reassurance. Like, it's one of those things where, like, to me, it all stems around value. And what value you see in that person, what value you see in that leg of the relationship, you know what I'm saying? So I made a list, right? And I want to go over it. I want to talk to you about the things, excuse the ambulance going by, that I've recognized, right? So, all right. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was how reassurance and appreciation are essential and why we should express it. So the first thing is it strengthens your emotional bond, right? What do I mean? So saying or showing your love openly, it makes your partner feel secure in that relationship. It makes them feel valued, right? It can be as simple as like, hey, I appreciate everything you do. And believe it or not, that keeps your connection strong, right? So let's say you are single person A and you meet single person B, and single person B comes from a situation where they are used to doing, they're a doer, right? So when they walk in, there's no real like gender specific boundaries as far as like women do dishes, men clean the yard, really none of that. It's just they're doers, right? And it's just like me, right? So they may be used to, all right, if I'm home first, I'm gonna go ahead and cook. If I already see the meat out, right? What am I waiting on? I don't need any instructions. I don't need to wait on somebody. They're a doer, right? So single person B is that doer. They come home, all right, it's chicken out, unthawing on the sink. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that, cook it, right? Now, If I want to know how single person A wanted it prepared, I may call them, shoot them a text like, hey, did you want this grilled? Did you want this fried? Like, what were you thinking, right? And then you can go on about your evening, go ahead and cook that meal, and then you both have a meal. Because here's the deal. Single person B understands that both of y'all got to eat anyway, right? So single person A is a little bit different. They wait, they delay, you know, they don't really have routine down pat. So it's not something you want to beat them up on, like, hey, don't you think we both got to eat? And a part of it is kind of like common sense, but they don't think like that. All right, cool. So you figure out a leveling point. Here's the point. When single person B takes on that role of auto, just go ahead and knock it out, and that spills over to other things in the house that they just knock out or whatever. And I'm just talking about house things for right now, right? But you could use this for a lot of different examples, right? So they take on things, they take the initiative, they do what they're supposed to, they keep on going, right? Now, single person A hasn't had this in their life, right? Let's say they've done things on their own, or the relationships that they've had in the past, maybe they didn't really reach that level to where single person A and single person B lived together and they actually were doing things together. So they didn't really get to that spot. This guy's about to run the red light here. What a jerk. All right, anyway, so when single person B comes in and they start doing that, it's essential that single person A, especially if it means something to them, right? If they appreciate that and they value it, they might want to acknowledge it. And am I saying it has to be every day? Not necessarily. I'm not, right? I'm fair. I'm going to angle this camera up just a little bit more. All right. You know, I'm not saying it has to be like an everyday thing, but it probably should be in a way to where they at least feel satisfied that single person B feels good about what they do. Because here's the deal. Single person A might want to realize if single person B just screech, stop, are they okay with that? Are they gonna miss it? Something that they just got used to, right? Now take that same example about house items and put it into a lot of different things, right? Just in love and relationship. Do you see the value of telling a person, I appreciate you? Hey, listen, dinner was off the chain, babe. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate you coming home and just knocking it out, right? How you show that love and appreciation, I'm not going to make that rule for you. You got to make that rule for yourself. I think the mistake is not doing it, right? I think another mistake is trying to put this pre-existing limit on how much love and appreciation y'all got to read my book, right? Flowers aren't only for girls. It's so important to understand, and I'm not promoting my product or nothing. I'm just telling you, I compiled a lot of conversations and research and information into this so we could discuss it, because I got some experiences. All right. So, and in no way, shape, form, or fashion, by the way, is all of everything I'm talking about just my experience, or this is about an ex, or don't go there, right? I really dug deep to pull this information out, so I want to share it, right? So it's more about that than it is anything about the other stuff. Don't make this a drama situation, all right? So it strengthens your emotional bond when you say or show your love and appreciation, all right? So obviously doing the opposite will have the opposite effect. Number 2, it reinforces positive actions. I just talked about that a little bit in step 1. If your partner is the cook, the cleaner, take a moment to say that, thanks, man. You don't listen. You want that meal to stay good. You want to be able to count on that partner to continue to provide or do the things that you value from them. Hey, listen, that motivation that they need to keep that going, because guess what? They probably tired too. And I know for me, and this is what makes me, like, when I think about like my mother and my grandmother, both of them, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole growing up, seeing them, whether they were tired, you know, sleepy, had a bad day, good day, whatever, and just growing up and seeing them come and still do the duties that they were responsible for, you know, it really does something, especially to a young black male, right? Again, this is not the gender specific mandates or nothing like that. That's just, you know, when I grew up, my grandmother, that was her thing. First of all, you wasn't going in grandma's kitchen. Like, it wasn't happening. Granddad, rest in peace. Granddad, he couldn't go in there and do, no, not in grandma's kitchen, you know, listen. And then my mom, you know what I'm saying? That's her thing, you know? And so, like, some of the things I do, even with my children, even when I was married, right? And my kid's mother, right? That whole, like, this is my secure space. Now, not to say I cook a lot, right? But I know that's in my experience, that domain was theirs. You know, I had to borrow space when I was in there, and do it quick, and better clean up when I leave. All right, so, but that motivation that they had behind it, you know, my children got to eat, you know, got to get ready for the next day. So many other things that they didn't tell you what the motivation behind it was, but I'm gonna tell you, it warms my mother, my grandmother, it warms their heart if you thank you. This was great, right? And my grandma know when I leave, I'm leaving with some containers. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, so it helps motivate them to continue the positive habits, and it feels good knowing that you're being recognized. All right, number 3, right? And we're gonna go through these other ones kind of quick because I started rambling. It builds mutual respect. All right, acknowledging contributions, big or small. It's gonna let the person know that you love them, that you care, you value those items, right? And it shows respect for their efforts, right? Because remember, there's the opposite. Keep that in mind. All right, number 4, it encourages openness and trust, right? Expressing appreciation. I didn't realize how many potholes was out on this one way. I should have went the other way, so I'm sorry if my camera's like bouncing a little bit. It expresses appreciation and encourages your partner to feel safe and open with you, right? Knowing that their actions are being noticed and valued. You know, I'm gonna be honest, like, it keeps the trust in a relationship too, because if you're recognizing that they're dedicated to a thing, and let's say you notice that those things go away, that should give you like this red alert. Something might be wrong. Something's going on, right? Doesn't mean that they're out being disloyal, but something is going on that requires your attention. So it behooves you to figure that out. All right. Number 5, it improves relationship satisfaction. I like this. Think about when you come home, you hug your partner and you say, I love coming home to you. Whew, that felt good saying, right? I love waking up next to you, right? Those things are so simple, and they're words, man. They're words. I hate word police. I hate the people that feel like I'm sorry costs money, so they can only say it once or twice, or I can't. All right. So don't be a word police. Use words. They don't cost money. Cost a lot of time. Use words. All right. Number 6, it reduces the feeling of being taken for granted. Look, routine actions like tidying up, running errands should be appreciated, right? Saying thank you for all you do. It reminds people that you notice them and they're not being taken for granted, right? You don't just, oh, he better, oh, she better have my plate on the stop, right? Number 7, it builds positivity in daily interactions. Think about it. If I know you appreciate me and I appreciate you, showing that appreciation daily, even with a compliment, like, I love your smile. You smell good this morning, babe. I don't care if she wear that same perfume every day for the last 12 years. Babe, you smell good this morning. Y'all don't get me to flirting on this camera. Listen. All right. But it adds positivity to your shared space. It lifts both your moods, right? A compliment goes a long way. I know me, like, I don't mind collecting them. Listen, Smell good, your head a little shinier today than usual. Oh, your beard looking good. Your glass is clean. But nah, seriously, it helps, right? And then this one is important. The next one, number 8. It prevents miscommunication. Why? Why does it prevent miscommunication? Because you're adding so much positivity to your communication. You're being clear with your appreciation instead of leaving a person to assume. Oh my God, I can't stand the fill in the blank. I'm not used to that. No. I don't like it. I don't like to fill in the blanks, right? Most men don't. Hell, most women don't, right? Don't do the fill in the blank. Listen, one of the things I talk about in the book is once you decide who your person is and you make that decision, commit to it. Because here's the thing. That's the person you want to be most comfortable with. You don't want to, look, if you got a secret that's a secret to everybody else, don't you want a person to be that person that you keep truth and honesty and being pure and open with? That's what you get in a relationship for, right? That's what I get in a relationship for. It's because, yes, there are many people, but I want this one. And when I choose that one, I don't have nothing to hide from you. I want you to know my deepest, darkest secret. Listen, if I walk out the bathroom and there's a piece of tissue on my shoe, I'd rather that come from you, my person, like, hey, babe, you got a little piece of tissue on your shoe, rather than some stranger. Because I'm not embarrassed per se. I'm not embarrassed at the same level that I am with my person that I would be with a stranger. Think about it. My person, I'm going to be like, ooh, dang, babe. We might laugh it off. You know, we love on each other a little bit. Like, ha. A stranger, I'm going to be like, oh my, how long that piece of tissue been on my shoe? Who saw it? Did this person see it? Did that person see it? Whatever the case may be, right? So that trust, that, don't do fill in the blank, right? Open up to that person if you want to be with them, right? But the point was about preventing miscommunication. It prevents misunderstanding and takes away the assumptions, right? It lets the person know you are grateful, right? I'm sorry, I look a little jacked up right now. It's just the way that I'm sitting. Don't mind me. I gotta hurry up. All right, number 9. It increases intimacy. Listen, appreciation fosters closeness. Saying I love you, I love how thoughtful you are, you make my life better, it deepens your intimacy and your connection. I can't tell you enough about the value of doing those little things that help increase the love and that intimacy between you two. So take advantage of that. Number 10, the final, it boosts self-esteem and motivation. Listen, recognizing your partner's efforts boost their self-esteem. I just told y'all. You said my glass is clean? What? You said my head a little bit shinier today? I shaved real good, trimmed up the stack. What? You like my watch today? Whatever, right? It's gonna motivate me to strive to keep that up. You know what I'm saying? I wanna stay clean. I wanna stay fresh, and you know, cause if not, and if it's not appreciated, you know what I'm saying? They may start lowering that standard because they feel like it's not being recognized anyway, right? And I encourage anybody, if you're going through that, don't lower your standard. Keep it going, especially to the kings out there. Listen, man, keep it going. Stay fresh. Stay on your grind. That right connection to come. Ladies, to the queens out there, stay on it, ladies. Stay on it. They out there, and the mutual connection is going to happen, right? But when you have a partner, make sure you recognize their effort. Their hard work and stuff is going to have a positive impact on you. Look, relationships thrive on little acts of appreciation, and you'll be making a mistake to let the small, thoughtful gestures go unnoticed. I'm so excited to keep bringing content like this. I really wanted to have this discussion because it was on my mind. I pulled some points, not just from the book, but I just wanted to make sure that there were points that were relevant and things that you could, you know, adhere to, take some note of, maybe sprinkle a little bit of that seasoning in your own relationship. We'll keep having some conversations like this, and I don't want to be all over the place, but especially like on my TikTok, I've had a couple questions and comments and different things like that, and this tends to get a pretty good response and engages in some really good conversation. So in the comments, if this made sense, let me know. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. But I'm excited. I'm doing the YouTube car challenge, and I'm free, trying not to do no edits. I might throw a filter just to make my skin look a little better. I'm just kidding. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, give me some feedback, right? Let me know if this helped in your relationship, or if you're already doing these things in your relationship and I just need to catch up, right? But until tomorrow, I'm Mr. J. Howard. I can't wait to see you again. All right, thanks.